WhatsApping me. He's like, Ama, when like there's a Chelsea game or Kofi was a Chelsea fan.
Yes.
And GHOne is Manchester. So he was always hounding GHOne, you know, very intelligent, sports,
extremely intelligent.
Everything.
Yeah.
So GHOne keeps WhatsApping me. He's like, Ama, I can't. How are you coping? My pastor, Bishop, you tell me that I still can't believe this has happened, you know. But I guess it's something that I have to deal with. It's not like I can do anything about it right now, but to keep his memory alive and to make sure that people don't go through what we went through in Korle Bu, because it was horrible.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, because it appears not much has been done. We still find people who get to the hospital and they are seated in plastic chairs because there are no beds there. And, you know, for a country, I mean, we have a problem in this country, you know.
Huge. Because
when something happens, we discuss it extensively for a period of time, and then we all go
silent.
back. Yes, and we all, I mean, I recall when the no bed syndrome issue came. This was before Kofi's incident.
This was before.
We discussed it, we did reports on it, and then we went back to sleep.
Yeah.
And then the Kofi's issue came, which became a national issue.
Right.
Because of the lack of equipment.
Right.
Everyone discussed it, everyone was so sad.
Right.
And look at us. And you know, we are here talking about the state of our mortuary at the same Korle Bu Teaching Hospital, which is supposed to be like the biggest hospital, referral hospital in the country.
Mm.
And, you know, as far back as 2018, Ama, we took a proposal to Korle Bu on how we can assist to refurbish the mortuary. Nothing came. In fact, they didn't even mind us. And in 2022, people are seeing videos and visuals from the mortuary, and they're sick to the stomach. And, you know, we will talk about the mortuary case later, but let's come to your issue. I know it's painful, but take us through what happened. What were the circumstances surrounding Kofi's demise?
Okay, so he used to complain of headaches, and it was on and off. And this happened in 2021. So in 2020, you know, complaining of headaches. So I take him to the hospital, and they say, oh, he has tonsillitis, he has an infection, and all of that. I kept asking the doctors, are you sure that these illnesses cause severe headaches? Because he's complaining. They say yes. And then it was getting to the latter part of 2020, I realized, no, I needed to see a pediatrician and move away from the GPs. You know, so we started seeing a pediatrician in Police Hospital. And he said, you know what, let's start. Kofi wears glasses. So let's start from his eyesight. It could be a reason he's having headaches. If we work on that and he's still experiencing headaches, then we move on to running a scan to find out if there's anything in the head. But so we did that. And after a week, we changed his lens. After a week, started losing his balance, you know. And then he started complaining of blurred vision, even with the glasses we had just changed. And then that's when we ran a scan. So on the 23rd of March, 2021, we went to run a scan, and then they found that he had a tumor in his head. At the time, it wasn't even a tumor. What the scan reports thought it was a cyst, what they called like a racket cleft cyst. So I was okay if it's a cyst, even though it's in the brain, maybe it's, you know, it will be easy to deal with.
Yeah.
Until Sewa, so they said that was 23rd March, which was a Tuesday. And so Wednesday, you need to go and run these labs and take it to Korle Bu on Thursday. They had arranged for us to go to Korle Bu on Thursday to see the neurosurgeons. On our way to the hospital to run the labs on Wednesday morning, he just started throwing up in the car. So then I called the pediatrician. He calls me back. He says, look, is that vomit coming out, is it shooting out, or it's just like, you know, regular vomiting? I didn't even know there was any difference when you're throwing up.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
So I said, no, it actually shoots out. He says, you know what? Rush to the hospital now, Police Hospital. We are arranging an ambulance for you. Get here as quickly as you can. And it's in the morning, there's traffic. My hazard is on. I'm losing my mind. And he's not saying anything but rush to the hospital. So we get to Police Hospital. Clearly, there's an ambulance waiting for us. It takes us to the hospital, to Korle Bu. I get there around, say, 11-ish, 12. And I was met with, there's no bed, unfortunately. And this is...
Oh, so you faced that too?
Oh, yes, please. Yes, we did.
Wow, I see.
There's no bed at the emergency of Korle Bu. And we can't admit him because he has a tumor. There's something in his head, right? So he can't sit in a chair. That would have been the only option. But we can't allow him to sit because of his condition.
So take him where?
We can't take him. There's no, what other alternative would there have been? They can't take him. So it took my uncle, who is a doctor, Richard Selome. He called, was calling, trying to get us space over there. Then one of the doctors said the only way we'll take him is, he went in the ambulance stretcher. If they can leave the stretcher, we'll find a place to keep him. So the ambulance driver said, Madam, please, you leave it here tomorrow, I'll come for it. So that was our savior, the ambulance driver from police hospital. I don't even know what his name is, but yes, he saved us, literally. And then we were kept there for about another 3-4 hours before we had a bed in the emergency side. Waited another 5 hours before a neurosurgeon, one of the doctors who works in the department, came to see him. And
so for the 3 hours that he was in that stretcher, no one attended to him?
The doctors that came to attend to him, there's this board there, so they put a neuro case, they put the cases over there, and then there's nothing we can do. He has to be seen by a neurosurgeon or somebody from the department. So yes, he was just literally waiting for one of the doctors from the department to come and see him. And that was we got somebody in around 5:30.
I am so sad. I mean, so for that 3 hours, what were you doing?
We were just sitting there. They were administering painkillers because he was in severe pain because of he had severe headaches. Apparently because there was intracranial pressure. So where the tumor was sitting in his head was not allowing the cerebrospinal fluid, CSF fluid, to move. So there's a space in our head that allows the fluid from our head to go into the spine. It processes, comes back. But then the tumor had sat on that space, and so there was a buildup of pressure in his head. So from the scan, you could even tell his brain was swollen, so they needed to deal with that. That evening when the doctor from the neurosurgical department came, he said, what his superiors are saying, he might go into theater that night. And Sewa, I've never seen anything like that. The medication they asked us to buy is like, like a cart, like a box, a huge box of medication. And I'm like, what you people need to tell me what's going on. And still, I hadn't heard anything. We're finally moved from the emergency to the neurosurgical ward around 10 p.m. And then the night went by. So, I don't even want to talk about the condition in the ward. Night went by. Next morning, a neurosurgeon comes to me and he says, are you alone? I said, for now I am. He says, because I need to brief you. We need to take him into theater. I said, okay. Then he looks at the scan and everything and says, I'm going to explain to you. Your son has a tumor. I said, no. He has a cyst. He said, yes, that is what the report says. Per what we, the doctors, have seen, the neurosurgeons, is a tumor that has a cystic feature. So there's a hard part and there's a soft part, the fluid part. And that's when he starts, So then, and we are not sure whether it's malignant, which is cancerous, or it is benign, which is non-cancerous. And that's where my heart started pounding. And we can only tell if we take out the tumor and run a biopsy. That's a test. So I said, okay. So what's the next move? Today, we are taking him into theater. We are not tackling the tumor. We are going to drain the fluid from his brain. And then later, we would have the surgery to tackle the tumor. So the first surgery that day was to put a shunt, what they call a VP shunt. It's like a tube. So they go into the head, connect it from your brain in there, and then they leave it in your abdomen, your lower abdomen. So it drains the fluid and it drains into your abdomen. Apparently the safest place for the fluid to be. So that's what they did.
It out.
No, it just stays in. Apparently the abdomen just absorbs it.
I see.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was the first surgery. And then he says this is going to be in him for the rest of his life.
Huh?
Yes. And it can malfunction. So from today, Kofi is our patient. You have to be running tests every month, like every 6 months, we have to run scans to make sure that the tumor or whatever doesn't come back. And you'd have to be coming here for us to make sure the shunt is functioning properly. I just broke down. And then we went into theater on the 25th of March in the, mid-morning, yeah. And surgery was successful. I won't lie about it. By far successful. Kofi came out, his speech was okay. He was fine. I don't know if you saw the videos, him rapping to Sarkodie's song. That was after the first surgery.
Okay.
So he was fine. Headaches, no, mommy. He started talking, walking. Now when the doctors come in, they are going for ward round. So Kofi wanted to be a neurosurgeon. his dream was to be a neurosurgeon and a bishop. He loves church stuff, and he's very generous. So I think in class 5, he started talking about this whole neurosurgery stuff and said he wanted to be a neurosurgeon and help perform surgeries on people for free. That was his dream. So I remember when my bishop came, he said, you're actually going to be a neurosurgeon by default, Look at where you find yourself. So the doctors were very pleasant. Some of the nurses very pleasant. I say some because we had some very unpleasant experiences in there as well. And then, so 25th March, let's move. We went through. And then his doctor, Dr. Abdallah, said, we need to have the second surgery.
Okay, and just to let our viewers know that Dr. Abdallah will be joining us very shortly by Zoom. He's actually on, but so we'll bring him in very shortly.
Okay, let me just wrap this up because I really need you to hear his side as well. So Dr. Abdallah says that we need to have a second surgery to take out the tumor. But before we take out the tumor, I want you guys to go home, spend some time with him. And Kofi says, I'm not going to go home because when we are coming back, we won't have a bed. Yes. And Dr. Abdallah says, well, you could decide to stay, but we'll give it 2 weeks because apparently the tumor he had, although it wasn't cancerous, acts like a cancerous tumor. It grows rapidly and it was already huge sitting in there. So we had his second surgery 6th April. 6th April, they went into theater. They came out. Dr. Abdallah was so happy. He said, look, because where the tumor was sitting is on the pituitary gland. It's like the most important gland in your head.
See how you have learned all these terms.
I didn't have a choice.
You didn't have a choice.
This controls the function of your body, your sleep, your eating, urine continence. It controls literally your hormones, literally everything.
Everything.
My son grew like he was about 3 times his size. And I tell you, like, I didn't even know all of this was, yes, it's my son was changing. And I thought, oh, lockdown, we were home, no school. Kofi, you're eating too much. And he was eating a lot. He was sleeping. So it was during the second surgery briefing that they are asking you all these questions. Does he sleep a lot? Yes. Has he gained weight? Yes. Does he sleep a lot? Yes. Does he pee a lot? I said, no, that I haven't seen. Okay. Does he have vision problems? I said, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all of this, one tumor is causing this. Yes, that's the reason he bloated that much. It was sickening to see my son, my cute baby, I call him my baby, Kofi, my baby, move from this person to that person. And after the second surgery, he could barely open his eyes. Yes, mommy. Okay, mommy. So he was eating like he has never seen food. When you give him, look, after the second surgery, people didn't see him. We couldn't allow people to see him because he wasn't himself. So that's how he was eating. Until one of the top neurosurgeons, Dr. Banka, pulled me aside. Because when he's eating, he's looking, he hasn't even finished. He wants
the next. Wow.
So Dr. Banka says there's something that was injured in the hypothalamus region in his head that has affected his ability to be able to say, for him to be able to notice that he's full. So you just need to give him the 3 meals a day and that's it. If you continue like this, when he requests, you give to him. We're already trying to balance the weight. It will be a problem. So let me tell you, when we go in there was ophthalmologist seeing us. He had specialists around him because of the eye. And then we had an endocrinologist, a specialist in hormones seeing us. Then we had the neurosurgeons. So for the second surgery was a team of ENT specialists and neurosurgeons because they didn't go through the head. They had to go through the nose. So the ENTs had to pave the way before they could get into the brain, for the neurosurgeons to get into his brain.
I see. And then what happened?
So after the second surgery, he started hallucinating. Next morning, Dr. Abdallah and Dr. Banka comes and they say, no, meningitis, his temperature had shot up. I didn't know that night when he was hallucinating, his temperature was up. The next morning, the doctors are like...
No, but if there were nurses that were supposed to be around.
They were checking his temperature. Nobody said anything to me. I just recall him waking up in the night. Mommy Zane and Amarizosa, his brother and his cousins in the house, they are outside. And I said, Kofi, do you know where you are? He said, yes, we are in Uncle Regal's house. I said, no, we are in Kolebu. Okay, then he goes back to bed. Then he wakes up, then he's just, saying things, incoherent stuff. So then the next morning, Abdallah and Dr. Banka are like, no, take him back into theater. He needs a central line because they couldn't find his veins to administer medication. So they had to take him back into theater to get a central line. And then after that, straight into the main ward. He was in a private ward. Now, there are no monitors. What I saw there was just one monitor in the whole ward to monitor. Imagine, he just came from a major surgery, so in less than 24 hours. Matter of fact, less than 12 hours, my son was out of the ICU. Because
Why?
he could open his eye and speak, and because there were other cases, emergency cases that were waiting, that needed the ICU bed. Neurosurgical unit in Kolebu has just one ICU bed. If there are 10,000 neurosurgical cases, you have space for only one person. And that person, look, it's a major surgery, Sewa. It's not like you are going to have like...
so hold on, the entire neurosurgical
unit in Kolebu
unit has only one
just
ICU
one ICU
bed.
Yes.
Dr. Abdullah, thank you very much for your time with us this morning. It's good to have you, and we understand that you cannot be here. But so in 2021, your department had just one ICU bed. What is the situation now?
Okay, well, thank you, and good morning to Cordelia. And yeah, I'm very happy to see her this way. She looks more...
Yeah, exciting and more...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my department actually has like the Department of Surgery has 4 ICU beds, but there's one dedicated bed to neurosurgery because we tend to share that ICU bed with the rest of the hospital. Okay, so in all it's about 4, but what is dedicated to us is 1.
Dr. Abdullah, but that's serious.
Yeah, even with the 1, depending on the emergency situations, for example, in the maternity ward or other parts of Ghana, if somebody needs an urgent ICU bed and the one dedicated to us is available, we can't say we want to wait till the next day for us to operate and put our patient on that bed. So in real sense, that bed does not even belong to us because we are sharing it with the rest of the hospital from maternity block, which tend from time to time bring their patients to occupy those ICU beds. It originally was supposed to be a 12-bed ICU. So we have 6 mainly for the ICU and then 6 for the HTU. But you would understand that over the years, we've had some of these critical care nurses going out of the country because of the conditions here and better conditions, especially in the UK. And also some of the programs that were rolled out by our current government to send them to countries like Barbados. So we lost, and in fact the situation is now worse across the country, not just Kolebu, in terms of critical care nurses. So 1 is the narrow bed space, and then 2 also has to do with inadequate critical care nurses to take care of these patients. And so now I can't even beat my chest, and so we have 4 ICU beds or we have 1 ICU bed because, as I said, it is open to all. It's more of like first come, first serve.
Dr. Abdullah,
which
we will come back to you. Dr. Abdullah is a neurosurgeon at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. We will come back to you. I just wanted to ask you if there's been an improvement, but clearly he said that it's even worse. So in actual sense, that 1 bed is not even, dedicated to the department,
right,
as and when it is available,
right,
so anyone at all can use it.
Right.
Okay, so
yeah,
Amma,
let me clarify. So the department is Department of Surgery, but
okay,
our unit is called the neurosurgery unit.
We're talking about the neurosurgery unit. Okay.
Yeah, in some parts of the world, we actually would have gotten our own center, like the Way Cardiothoracic Center is. So then we operate as a department or as a center on our own.
Right.
But for now, we are working under Department of Surgery, which also is not favorable.
Okay. All right, we will come back to you, Dr. Abdullah, because we want to, we want to make sure that this story that happened to Kofi's issue doesn't come up again. That is if it hasn't even happened already. We will come back and see how we can together find a solution to it. But let me come back to the studio and talk to Amma. And because I know Amma personally, it just makes the whole thing so sad. Maybe you don't understand. Maybe you never saw Kofi. Maybe you never experienced the young man. But such a loving little boy, super intelligent. But let me not make you sad this morning. I'm sure you already are. So, and Ben, Dr. Abdullah is very happy to see you in this mood.
I know, he's been so supportive.
Yeah,
always checking up on me.
He appears very
supportive.
Yes, and a very nice doctor. That's quite nice. But let's go back. So after the second surgery, he was moved to the general ward.
Yes, because he had to be monitored, and there's just one monitor by a bed. Then I don't know if that has changed. So then he's by the bed, they're monitoring his vitals. His vitals keep dropping, going high, and all of that. So he was okay. Second surgery was Tuesday. Wednesday, he was, his temperature had spiked. Dr. Abdullah said, you know what? There's this particular medication we need you to buy. It's very expensive. I've had a patient who has had to sell her cloths and her utensils and everything to buy that particular medication for her child. So call this pharmacy and find out if they had it. It was over 4,000 cedis. So,
really?
Yes, for antibiotics. But Dr. Abdullah says, I know you guys will be able to afford it. And that's the best, to be able to just, deal with the meningitis. An antibiotic. So then we got that medication, and Kofi temperature went down. He started getting okay. He was fine. He was talking now. His speech had become coherent a bit, and he could have a conversation, but it wasn't as good as after the first surgery. So we're just managing. But he would eat, he would smile, he would laugh, he would talk, do a little bit of his rap, or rap some other song or something like that. Until Friday, Dr. Abdullah, team, everybody came to see him. He was okay in the morning. In the afternoon, a bit weak. I would ask him, Kofi, are you okay?
That's what he would do.
So he's dizzy.
Right.
That's what he was doing the whole time. Kofi, are you okay? You're scaring me. That's what I said, friend. Kofi, you're scaring me. Then that's what he does.
Did you, at any point after the second surgery, think that you were going to lose him?
No. With the team of doctors he had, no way. On Thursday nights, they had the lead surgeon at the ENT. So there's because it went through his nostrils. He's not allowed to sit up because then the fluid from the brain seeps out. So they put this thing around cotton. They fold it in a way and put it around his nose so that they're monitoring the fluid coming out and everything. And it was in the evening, Thursday evening, the ENT specialist came and gave him some sort of modern type where he can just, hook around his face. And he laughed. He said, Mommy, I'm so special. I said, yes, you are. You're so special. Because all the doctors, and they gave their utmost best. So they did everything they could for him. I kid you not. I was by my son's bed every single time. It's not negligence on the doctor's part. No, they were there throughout. Dr. Abdullah spoke to him that day, a couple of minutes before the issue happened. And so we were asked to go and run an x-ray. And when we got to the department, so it's like moving from here to, how do I even say it? Maybe from here to about... to
the Electoral Commission?
I don't even know where they're like. Maybe Parliament? Atlantis.
Oh, to Sunny FM.
To Sunny FM. So like you're pushing him. You are pushing him on the floor, on the rocky floor. This is somebody who has just had a surgery, and you're pushing him on the floor from that department to the x-ray department to go and have an x-ray done. So after the x-ray, this was around 4 p.m. We went back onto the ward. And so that day was the day we lost the prince in England. Queen Elizabeth's husband. He passed on the same day, 9th April. DMX passed on the same day. So I was exhausted, after we had come from the x-ray, because I hadn't slept since the second surgery. I have to be giving him water every 10 minutes. Because he couldn't drink and he had to sip. Like they needed a certain amount of water in him because his urine wasn't concentrating. So Sarah, every 10 minutes, and he wants cold water. I have to move from the ward to a friend's fridge to go and take water, cold water, and I had barely slept, And so when my sister-in-law came, I said, Gina, you be with him. I am going to sit down. No, he said he wanted to poop. And then it was taking long. It was like 5 minutes and it wasn't coming. I said, Kofi, I'll leave you with Auntie Gina. When I went to sit was when I was watching this news thing. So in less than 10 minutes, my sister-in-law comes screaming, Amma, emergency. I see the doctors running. Like, imagine, well, I just
literally came out.
She said the nurses came when he had finished. They wanted to help clean him because he had the central line around the groin area. They didn't want it to get infected, so they didn't want hair to change it, so they were going to help. Now, Gina says the last thing she saw was the nurse raised him and turned him. And when she turned him, he said, my heart. And then he went into cardiac. So when I got there, like they were trying to draw the curtains, but Kolebu, I could see my son's face from like his face to his chest area. I could see the doctor's spread. So they couldn't find it. There was no defibrillator. The machine that is supposed to restart your heart.
Yeah, the thing when you watch the movies, they rub together and then they press.
There was nothing like that in there.
And they don't have it there, or it wasn't available at the time.
They don't have it there. I don't know if they have, or they had a manual one. I'm not sure, but I didn't see anything like that.
Let me ask Dr. Abdullah. Dr. Abdullah, so is it that you had it and it wasn't available, or you don't have it at all?
I must say, generally, I would be shocked if you visit 10 hospitals in Ghana and you find defibrillator on the ward. It's not something that is common, but the good news is that after last year, after our initial interview on GHOne and City TV and Ama's advocacy, I had a call from someone, a Ghanaian in Scotland, who decided to donate the bimanual type. So both the manual and then the automated type. It's 2-in-1 system, which was slightly used. But that is what we have now. And they also donated one monitor around that time. He works in a hospital in Scotland. So when they are decommissioning their equipment, he decides to bring it down. And to be honest, those equipment are far better than the new ones that, let me say, government have been buying for the hospitals.
So
this is an old machine, but it's durable. It's durable. So I just don't want to underrate the fact that they were decommissioned equipment that he gave to us. But it is all from these media engagements that we had. That is what has now brought us a defibrillator on our ward. I can't speak for other wards, but it is a general problem in Ghana. If this is happening in Accra, you can imagine probably what will be happening in other parts of the country.
Okay, Dr. Abdullah, let me ask you this. How much does it cost? The one, because you say the one that you got from Scotland is better than what the government's procured. So how much do you think one would cost us generally?
Yeah, I'm not saying government has even procured a defibrillator for us. I'm not aware of that. But I'm talking generally about equipment.
So government hasn't.
But the defibrillator, automated one, it ranges between $2,000 to about $10,000, depending on other accessory that comes with it. And then the monitor, a single monitor is about $5,000. And you actually need a monitor for most of the neurosurgery patients and every patient in critical care. So considering the precarious nature of our ICU, where we have just few beds, it will be prudent that every single bed has an attached monitor. That is the standard. And as Ghanaians, we must not accept the fact that hospitals should be run. If you visit any hospital and you don't see monitors, you should question it. You see, it has become the norm to the extent that now when people are even building new hospitals, there's no even budget for these monitors. That is how low we have come to accept some of these things, that it is normal, but it is not. That is not the norm. And we should start speaking about it. We should start talking about it.
But Dr. Abdullah, hold on for me. Dr. Abdullah, as a doctor,
ward, for surgical wards, you need it.
Dr. Abdullah, as a doctor with your other colleague doctors, what have you done about it? The fact that you do not have it, and you know, like Ahmad was saying, you guys literally had to press Kofi's chest to try to bring him back to life. You don't have it. It's affecting your work. What have you done about it? Have you formally written to governments? Have you said anything?
Look, I started this journey about defibrillator over 10 years ago when my wife joined Emirates Airline and she visited Monaco and they saw defibrillator in a phone booth in Monaco, and she actually took a picture and sent it to me. I did a lot of write-ups about it. It was all over my social. This is over 10 years ago. That defibrillator could be found on the streets in Europe and wasn't available to the extent that ordinary citizens even know how to use it. I will be shocked that if you take about 100 doctors, and I'm making this statement and I'm very emphatic about it, that if you take 100 Ghanaian doctors, 50 of them can utilize a defibrillator. That is how bad it has been over the years. And we must accept it and try to correct it. It is a shame that is the state of our healthcare system, to the extent that the exposure to even these critical devices, very simple critical devices, we do not have. And I'm very happy you have some of these equipment on your table.
Yeah,
what you are just showing
Dr. Abdullah, for the avoidance of doubt. Hello, Doc.
What you are just showing the microscope.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah. Yes, hello.
Yes, Dr. Abdullah, I'm saying for clarity's sake, I want you to, we're displaying the items, the equipment on the screen now, but go through it for us, what they are called, so that if there's anyone who is watching and they want to assist, because me, I don't know what these things are.
Yeah.
So as a neurosurgeon, tell us what these things are, and let's see how best we can help the first. But it looks like government is joking. So you tell us. Let's see what we can do about it.
So what you currently have on your screen? Okay, so this one is what we call the neuromicroscope. And it enlarges, the neuromicroscope. This one costs from about $350,000 to about $1 million, depending on the accessories that comes with it and maintenance contract. Now, this, you could see that there's a screen there, and this enlarges the images that you see. Apart from that, they can actually connect what we call the neuronavigation machine to it, which is like a GPS system, which tells you where you are in any part of the brain. And in very high performing centers, they even have what we call neuromonitors, so that if there's going to be any complications, they will be able to pick it during the surgery, even before it happens. And then this particular machine is what we needed actually for Michael. This is the neuroendoscopy machine. So it's for minimal invasive surgery. So for Michael, we went through the nose. But you need this equipment to free your hand. The modern equipment actually free your hands. They have holders, which comes with it. So you have your two hands to be able to work with, which currently we do not have. And this costs less than $100,000. If there's anyone who is out there to help, this should be one of the first equipment we should consider. And if you look at all these equipment that has been displayed,
is that it?
It is quite clear that you cannot do neurosurgery without this modern day equipment. Neurosurgery is technologically driven. If you don't have the equipment, you may be working 50 years back. That is the type of practice that you'll be engaged in. And this is the neuronavigation machine. So you can see that it shows, the picture on your right side shows the skull, and then there are 3 pictures of the brain.
Yeah.
And there are 3 coordinates, and it tells you where your knife or your needle is going to. And through this equipment, patients with seizures like convulsion, epilepsy that we know in our community, you can actually use a pin to make a lesion in the brain just because you have all this. And the person forever may not be on medications anymore. We don't have that. And our people go to India, a middle-income country like us. They go to India and they see this machine. They talk about South Africa. People talk about robotic surgeries. These are the things that they need. And all this equipment combined will be less than $5 million, which I think it is not beyond Ghanaians. We should be capable of doing this. If you don't get this for me and you continue to judge me by the standard in America, it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair. I don't have all these machines that they are displaying.
Wow.
I do not have it.
I see.
And
okay.
And it's not like this. Our people are oblivious of this. Some of them have gone abroad to have surgeries. Dr. Banka was in Johns Hopkins, for God's sake. He was there with Eja Indu. That's Dr. Indum's son. Eja Indum's son, we all know what is. Eja Indum is doing a lot in America today. He's not better than Dr. Banka, for example. But if you don't give him all these things, how can he perform?
Okay, Dr. Abdullah, we don't have time, but we have to go. But we have taken notice of these equipments that you talk about.
Yeah, let me just explain this particular one because of Michael. So you see that there's something going through the nose. That is exactly what we did to go to under the scalp to take Michael's tumor. And then, sorry, I would have to take a bit of your time. There was a last equipment you showed, which is the diatomy machine. It's about 55,000 Ghana cedis. I am hoping that by the end of this program, we'll get somebody to buy
this very one on the screen.
The very last one, the diatomy machine. If you can flip through it quickly, so I'll show you that one. No, not that one. Yes, this particular one. We need at least 2 urgently. So if we could get 2 Ghanaians to give 55,000 Ghana. This is like an electrical knife that we use for our surgery. And it's just 55,000.
Dr. Abdullah, we want you to show us which one exactly you're talking about. So please look at the screen.
Okay.
Producer, if you can flip through the images so that we know which one exactly he's talking about. Dr. Abdullah, is it this one?
Yeah.
It can't be this one.
No, not yet. Yeah, please keep flipping. No.
Is it the one that looks like a box?
Keep going. Yeah, the one which looks like a box. So I think after this image here.
This one?
Yes, this one.
Okay. And this is about 55,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Okay. I see. And you need that. You don't even have one of it?
They are all spoiled, I've been told.
Wow.
So occasionally we have to borrow. But this is the particular brand which has served us longer. So
I see.
If anybody wants to buy, I think this would be like the best. And if we get 2, because we have 2 theaters, if they can even buy 3, so we have one on standby, that would be helpful. But I'll be very happy. That would be my Eid surprise if I can get a Ghanaian to buy this for us by close of day today, or at least make some commitment. Just in memory of Michael and also as an Eid gift to me.
Absolutely. Okay, Doc, thank you very much. We will do our best. But do you have oxygen now at your facility?
Well, because of the Eid, I've actually not been to work, but probably I have to call the PRO of the hospital.
Okay, I see that you're smiling to that. I understand what that means. But Doc, let me quickly, before I let you go, how many cases of brain tumor comes to your facility, say every month?
So on the average, we see about 10 brain tumors a week. And some of them come in, probably have lost vision in one of their eyes, or some even come totally blind, or some are on the verge of going blind, because brain tumors inadvertently tend to affect the visual pathway. So blindness is one of the common presentations that we get. And then some also come in like paralyzed on one side of the body. Apart from that, we also have a lot of children with congenital anomalies. And I'll take this opportunity to talk about folic acid. Any woman who wants to get pregnant from the age of 18 years and above should start taking folic acid. When you start taking folic acid, once you realize you are pregnant, it will not correct any anomaly which will occur. The folic acid level should be very high in your body prior to you getting pregnant. And in many parts of the world, they have their cereals which are fortified with folic acid, and it's something that our public health sectors have to start considering, because we have a lot of children coming with this congenital anomaly, and you can imagine them also having to wait and compete with patients with brain surgeries, with spinal cord injuries. You know, the accident situation in our head, it is more of like an epidemic where brain injuries, spinal cord injuries. And this morning I'm not able to come to the studio because I have to go and operate on someone urgently who had a spinal cord injury from road traffic accident. So we are a country that we have so much to do and we don't have time to waste. We need to start acting now.
I see. Doc, thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. Abdullah is a neurosurgeon at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Thank you so much for talking to us. We will definitely have this conversation with you. Let me come back to the studio. Amma is still with me here. Amma, I want you to quickly finish the story and then we'll talk about your foundation, the one that you set up in memory of Kofi. So then when they were trying to press his chest because they didn't have the what?
Defibrillator.
Then what happened?
I saw his chest rise, and so he's gasping like and then you just see the rise and fall of his chest, and then I didn't see that happen again, and I don't know, I started losing my mind. I just went numb and I walked away. And then one of the neurosurgeons, Dr. Banton, held me and took me into her office. And my brother kept asking, what's going on? She says, I don't know. As she's saying, I don't know, she starts tearing up. And she's...
The doctor?
Yeah, she's holding me. She had held on tight to me. And then after about, 10 minutes, one of the neurosurgeons walked in there and says, we've lost his pulse. We are trying to bring him back, but it's a 50-50 chance. So we just want to let you know. I was just literally Then 20 minutes later, he comes and says, we are sorry. And that was, I had gone off. They were trying to stop me. I remember the doctors were holding me and trying to stop me from going to where he was, and I just pushed everybody away and went and I'm just holding my son wake up, Kofi, you need to wake up. Mommy's here, wake up. And so, I try not to think about it. But it's the most painful experience any parent would go through. You can just imagine when your child is even sick. When my child is sick, I'm so broken. I cry sometimes when they are helpless. I'm seeing my son, he's not talking to me, he's lifeless, Yawa. He's lifeless. And the one that even broke me was when they wrapped him up and put a DOD, that's date of death. I said, no. Why? So I remember Dr. Banka telling them they need to move me out before they wheel him out, telling my family. But within this, I don't know, I just put on my status that evening that my baby is gone. The whole Kolebu was full of friends and family. And people trying to get us out of there. Sewa, I couldn't sleep. They literally dragged my water that night in the house because they knew I wasn't going to sleep. And they said, you need to drink water. It was later on that they told me that, look, we had to put something in your water. And even that, I was up at 4 a.m. I slept in the hall. And when I wake up, the first picture I see is my son. And I am crying, Kofi, you can't do this. You cannot do this. You can't. Then my next immediate worry was, I don't want him in Kolebu mortuary. Yao, this is my brother. You need to get him out of there. But the doctor said it happened Friday, weekend, we can't do paperwork. I said, I don't want my son there. If my son changes, I will be mad. So then it took calls, Dr. Banker, no, don't put him in the mortuary, put him in a cold room. And that day, my bishop came to the house to see me and moved straight there and called me and said, Amma, he's sleeping. He's fine. So when my brothers took him on Monday, they moved him from Kolebu to Transition. And I saw the pictures. I realized, yes, that was my baby lying over there. So this was our journey. I can't say everything that happened, but this was really our journey. It was a 2-week journey in Kolebu Teaching Hospital, and this is what I faced.
I am so sorry, Amma. I'm so sorry. You're such a strong woman.
I try.
I'm so sorry. Now, let's talk about the foundation.
Right.
The Michael Kofi Esiama Foundation.
Right.
What are you intending to do?
Okay.
What have you been doing?
Let me just backtrack a bit. So in his stay in Kolebu, there was this young boy who was like, we call him like a ward prefect, Chachu, so lively. And one day we just realized he wasn't as excited as he used to be. We were in the waiting area, and so Kofi hits me and he's like, Mommy, look, Chachu's not happy. And he was sitting with his parents. So then we realized that he needed assistance. So Kofi tells his auntie Nashoko that, look, we need to raise funds. Na says, no, we can't, because we don't know how much your next surgery is going to cost. Kofi says, God will take care of me. So we raised funds for Chachu's surgery, and it was we got an excess. It was able to cater for other people's surgeries. So the idea was, when he gets well, we would set up a foundation. He wanted to help people, So this foundation, I had to do this, Michael Kofi Esiama Memorial Foundation, is supposed to raise funds to get equipment for the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. And I'm trying in various ways. So there's not just, on Saturday, we're not just launching his foundation. We are launching a book I wrote called At 19, Bracing the Odds of Teenage Pregnancy. It would interest you to know that I had Kofi when I was 19.
Really?
And so, yes. So the book literally details my journey with my son, what we've been through over the years and everything. And so if you purchase that book after we launch it on Saturday, proceeds from the book goes into the foundation to also raise funds. And we are adoring 3 of his music. So I just want to say thank you to Kewa, Highly Spiritual Records, because he reproduced the beats for us. And we'll be adoring 3 of his songs on Saturday as well. And when you stream or download it, I think it's $1 or something like that. All the proceeds go in there to the foundation.
How much is a book going to cost?
I cannot say at the moment, but I would definitely, after Saturday, you would know the price.
Okay.
Yes.
Where is it happening?
It's happening at Hacho. It's not open to the public, but on my Facebook page it will be live. We'll be live streaming on my Facebook page.
Okay. Amma, thank you so much.
Thank you,
and
Sarah,
I wish you the very
me.
best on
Thank
Saturday.
you.
I'll see you.
Thank you.
We will bring you updates from the book launch and the foundation launch as well. But well done. Keep going. You'll be fine. You'll be just fine. And well done.
Thank you.
I'm sure that,
Sarah.
Kofi is watching you and just smiling and rapping
Yes,
wherever
and
he is. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.
Now, Amma said something that when she lost Kofi, she kept saying, I don't want Kofi at the Kolebu mortuary. I don't want Kofi there. Well, stay with us, because after the break, we will show you the state of the Kolebu mortuary and tell us if you would want your loved one to be kept there. Amma, thank you. We'll be back very shortly. Stay with us.
After about 2 years of the world's worst pandemic, surge after surge, lockdown after lockdown, Finally,
On the 25th and 26th of June, Made in Ghana UK Festival 2022 comes off. East Winter Garden, 43 Bank Street, London, E14 5NX UK.
celebrating Ghana, showcasing our unique talents, products, services, and tourism. Driven by the unique demand music, the 2022 Made in Ghana UK brings you Made in Ghana Trade Show, Women Empowerment Conference, Business and Innovation Summit, All-Star Music Concert, and so much more. For more information, visit www.madeinganauk.com and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at madeingana_UK.
In partnership with the Ghana High Commission UK, Ministry of Trade and Industries, Minister of Tourism, Arts and Culture, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, EIB Network, Showbiz Africa, and ZionFelix.com.
We welcome you to an exciting brand new destination. We welcome you to local telenovelas, drama, comedy, and action. We welcome you to an authentic Ghanaian experience created by us, for us. Akwaba Magic Ebusia, now connecting everyone to local Ghanaian entertainment. DSTV channel 149, get and stay connected to DSTV today for only 169 cedis. Ghana, it's your moment.
Excuse me, please hurry up. I don't have enough time.
Hello.
Driver, you don't have an AC in your car. Your tire is bad and you are here chilling. I'll bet you Polish.
I got a message for you.
Madam, one more.
Belcast is perfect for you. Refreshing.
Feel the refreshing taste of Bell Fruit Cocktail in a can this festive season with a blend of fruit extracts and flavors that hit just right. It will always do the magic on a hot steaming day.
What's that? Thanks. Who said it's for you? It's for Bell Fruit Cocktail. It costs so rough.
Tell you.
Bell Fruit Cocktail is on point.
Belcans, refresh in style. Another quality product from Belacqua. This advert is FDA approved. Belcans are now available on Jumia Ghana.
Akoto loves his family. He works hard to take care of them. So Ifya, his young daughter, can become the doctor she's always dreamt of. And Akosia, his lovely wife, can open the nursery school she talks about all the time. He can see a happy, relaxed retirement in the years to come. But life can get in the way of our dreams. Unable to work, how do your dreams come to pass? Don't let life's tragedies get in the way of your family's dreams. Get a life insurance policy from Star Life today. Star Life, your solid partner for life.
Wake up the champion in your child. Give them energy to go further. Let Milo with Active Go and the natural goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa helps wake up the champion in your child. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to Awos Unisex Boutique, where comfort and style is our hallmark. Original Italian leather bags, shoes and belts for both men and women. Talk about looking your best and standing out on all occasions. And now Awos Creations, where you find authentic African clothing for men, women, and children. Visit us online or in store. In Tesano, behind the Ghana Police Depot. In Osu, behind the Snit Hospital. In Jolu, at the Jolu Junction, opposite the First Atlantic Bank. At the airport, Terminal 3, Departure C3, opposite Sunbra Lounge. Call us on 0244-649379, 0234-885042. Awos Unisex Boutique, comfort and style.
The song is a vibe. It's a hit. I tell ya. Everybody is talking about it. Say what?
So, ladies, I want to introduce you to something special. Just wait for me. So, here we go. Is the Bell Cola. And the Bell Squeeze. Just try it.
Never a dull moment this festive season with Bell Cola and Bell Squeeze, now available in cans. Feel the fizz as it excites your taste buds as every sip takes you on an adventure. And they're perfect mixes for your cocktails and mocktails.
Say what?
Grab a can of Bell Cola and Bell Squeeze in every shop and pub near you. Another member of the Bell Can range and a quality product from Bell Aqua. Bell Cans, refreshing style, taste of adventure. This advert is FDA approved. Bell Cans are now available on Junior Ghana.
You're welcome back to the show. This is GH Today. I'm Sewami here. Now, we're going to talk about the state of our mortuary at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Let's take a look at it in just a couple of minutes, and then I will come back and have a conversation with William Isiedu. Stay with us.
From the outside, it's hard to imagine the sheer number of corpses held up inside the Kolebu Teaching Hospital mortuary. But as one draws closer, reality begins to dawn. A pungent and heady smell. Yet, these mortuary attendants are busy at work, having become immune over the years. Their job is a difficult and life-threatening one. Any little mistake here, and one is bound to contract infections from dead bodies.
This is how always we go about it.
This has also been worsened by poor working conditions. Due to the lack of space, dead bodies lie on the dirty bare floor with flies hovering around them. This dead baby, with flies almost entering his mouth and nose, left tears in my eyes. Water droplets from dead bodies are stuck on the floor and cannot flow freely due to the terrible nature of the facility. These channels in the morgue, which are to allow the free flow of dirty water, are heavily choked with filth, which breeds maggots.
You are inhaling medicine, 3, 4, 5 days. You are in trouble. And it is like this, and they brought you. And we are coming to do autopsy. We have to dissect before the pathology will come in. Yes. And bring out the organs before the pathology will come in. After that, we have to stitch and come in bound.
In one of the storage rooms, there is a serious congestion. Initially built to accommodate a few dozens of dead bodies, now loaded with hundreds of dead bodies.
This is one of the biggest storage rooms here at the Kolebu mortuary, where a number of bodies are preserved, from babies, elderly, middle-aged. Everyone is being kept in here for some time before their family members finally come for the bodies. Now, because most of them delay in coming for their bodies, some of the bodies, as you can rightly see here, are deteriorating. They are rotting away. And these mortuary workers will have to face all these challenges as they continue to work here at the Kolebu mortuary.
Director of Metro Public Health at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, Florence Kochi, says the situation is extremely disturbing.
We apologize for those videos, very disturbing images. But if you haven't seen the full video, you can go onto our YouTube page. On our Instagram, on our Facebook, you'll find the video there. We apologize once again for those images. But William Isiedu joins me in the studio. He's a former business manager for the Heritage newspaper, which was one of the businesses under the EIB network. He's a journalist. William, so in 2018, William, when he was business manager for Daily Heritage, put together a proposal, sent it to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. William, very beautiful proposal. I have it here. Very beautiful, very detailed. Now you added thank you. What happened? Well, first of all, what is in your proposal? Tell us.
Well,
quickly, because we don't have time.
Yes, the proposal was basically to partner the mortuary to engage private sector to help take care of the place, because obviously government could not do it all. So basically that was what the proposal was about. And it wasn't just even for the Kolebu mortuary, it was for all the public mortuaries across the country.
Okay.
Because my research indicated that they were all struggling. So I went on this project for 1 year and there was no response.
So did you send the proposal to Kolebu, to the management of Kolebu?
Okay, so I was invited by by somebody I didn't know. I didn't know how he got married. My uncle died at work.
Okay.
So they rushed the body to Kolebu, the morgue. So I had to go and take care of things. But I just couldn't believe what I saw.
Like that?
Yeah. So as a journalist...
Like the visuals that we
exactly.
showed.
So as a journalist, I thought it wouldn't be enough to just do a story, because I know how stories are treated in this country. You do the story, we'll talk about it a week or two.
And that's
then that's it. So I decided to do this proposal and then use all the platforms we have here at EIB to launch a nationwide campaign. Because, I mean, I'll be surprised if we can get 1 or 2 reporters in this house who have covered any fundraising project, any renovation, anything at the Kolebu morgue. But daily, we have people going to the children's ward, the OPD, surgery ward, surgical ward, and things to donate and then rehabilitate them. But nothing happens at the morgue. And the dignity of the human being doesn't end with death, so far as I'm concerned. So I said, look, let me approach the management of the morgue and then give them the proposal. We launch the campaign on our platforms and then raise some funds and then take care of the place. As the doctor said in your first interview, it was when their issues came in the media that people started supporting them. And that was the mind with which I approached this whole thing. So I put together the proposal, went to the morgue, met the manager, met some officers, and it was just for them to invite me to a meeting to explain and then get it off. The meeting was pushed back and forth. And as late as 2019, I met the then board chairperson of the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, Dr. Okuboy, at a program at Africa Regent Hotel. I brought the thing up. He gave me a number to call. Nothing happened. So I was surprised that it's the same EIB that went to do the story. Apparently, the reporter didn't know that something like this happened because, of course, it's been so long. So I called the producer and said, look, this is what it is. I'm not here to blame anybody for not responding to the proposal. I'm here to say that this matter has come up again. So let's look at the proposal and then get on with it. Because I believe that corporate Ghana will help. Because the health issues at the morgue is, as you could see from the videos, very terrible. And now the ban on noise making in Accra, I think will come on very soon. When they lift the ban, a lot of funerals will be held. Go there around those days and see how the bodies are held. Because a lot of people will come rushing to take the bodies. They put them on the ground, bare ground, to dress the bodies. And that's how they throw them on the floor. You could see the videos. And it hasn't changed for the last 10 years. And if the generators don't work, and if there's any problem with the power, you can imagine how the freezers don't work and how the bodies get. Sometimes you go for your body, and excuse me to say, the bodies turn out like chocolate, melting chocolate. It's just decomposing. And how could we do this to ourselves? Our cemeteries are in a bad state. Our mortuaries are in a bad state. And even the public hospitals and their washrooms. Let your reporters go there. The washrooms, they go there and pick diseases. So I'm asking, if the government can't help, I'm sure if somebody dies, definitely calls will be made. So the telcos should be interested. If somebody dies, people will drink beer and hard liquor. The beverage company should be interested. If people die, insurance issues come up. So the insurance company should be interested. I can go on and on and on. I didn't put it in my proposal that look.
So I want us to tackle the proposal, right, and look at it very critically. So what are you expecting them to do? I have the proposal in front of me. You called it the Heritage Project, right?
Yes.
And so obviously it was under the Heritage newspaper back then, the Daily Heritage newspaper back then. But now, what were you expecting them? So Kolebu's role, I see, participate in the selection of projects consultant and works company, supervise general works, provide technical direction.
And
give us a lot
and
more
then
details on
EIB
that.
and Daily Heritage, we're supposed to be, or of course, we are the originators of the project. We're supposed to raise funds, markets, and publicize whatever we're going to do, and then also participate in the selection of the project consultant. So the bottom line is money, and we're going to raise the funds. We're going to, let them do, because they are the technical people who are not going to be part of it. And then I even put in the proposal that we have a lot of space around the morgue.
Okay.
Instead of the Kolebu area, you go there on Saturdays, people are having funerals and blocking roads. Why don't we put together a funeral ground where people could hold their funerals and pay something to the place? And then, as you can see, we have also a place where people could sell their caskets, showroom where they could sell their caskets, make a nationwide appeal for funds, funeral publicity materials. We could sell the development of modern funeral grounds, as I said earlier, and then the hiring of public. A lot of things that I listed. Nobody called me to discuss. The meeting never came on. You ask, you go there, they are in a meeting. I mean, they were not just interested. And I'm wondering why this is so, because if you're a manager and you go to work every day and you see a morgue like that and you go back home, what are you doing about it?
Okay. So you want us to raise funds?
Yeah.
And do you have the people ready to get the work done? How much money are you looking at?
Well,
I mean, it was 2018, so obviously there'll be a change in the figure. But roughly, how much figure? What's the figure?
As I sit here, I'm not an expert in that area, and that's why I wanted to meet them. And even if you look at the proposal, they were supposed to lead the technical aspect of it. So it was from the meetings that they would tell us that, look, we need to fix this fridge, and it costs like the doctor. You call the doctor, and he was the one giving you the equipment and the amount that goes into buying them, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Because if they had given us the bill, say, look, we want to do the floor, we want to do the walls, we want to do the fridge, we want to do this, then we know how much money we're going to raise. Because, I mean, I could not just phantom or just come from the vacuum with a figure. And we never had that meeting. So, as it is that you saw in the videos, how much does it take to fix it? I wouldn't know. Because I'm not an expert in that area. The experts are there. So they should tell us that, look, we need a new refrigerator for the morgue, and this is how much it costs. You understand what I don't want to go to the internet and go and look at prices and come and throw it at them. They should do that and give us, say, look, we need 1 million Ghana cedis to fix this. And I'm saying between the telcos, the insurance companies, the beverage companies, and all the others put together a nationwide campaign, we should be able to raise it. Because as the man said, it was when the issues of the equipment came in the media that they began to get them. And it was the same mind that I went there. And up to now, I haven't had the opportunity to meet the management.
And you say that from your research, this condition of the mortuary runs through almost all the public.
I'm saying that go to Sawam Government Hospital. This story shouldn't end here, and that's why I'm challenging all of us as journalists to take it up, because you see, these are the things that people from outside see, and they just think that we don't have dignity as black people. It's hard to say, but that's the fact. Because you go to the children's ward, it's not clean. Why would we do this to ourselves? You go to the public cemeteries. You go to the private cemeteries. You see the place. I'm sure you've been there. And look, just compare the private cemeteries to the public cemeteries. So why is everything public? We leave it to rot. That's the question that I wanted to answer. We need to partner the private sector. Because there's something that we all say that as for government work, you come, you don't work. Once you report yourself, you get paid. But the private sector will not handle things this way. So at the end of the day, I'm saying that this is an opportunity for us to rejuvenate, reignite, restart that campaign. Right. And it's good that it started with us, and the story is coming from our own reporter.
Okay. Well, it definitely will not end with the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Thank you so much, William. Because of time, we have to end it here. But we definitely are going to do something about it. We will. We're already working on it. So we should get some results, hopefully very soon. William Esiedu is a journalist. He's a former business manager for Daily Heritage. And I am Sewami here. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back same time tomorrow. But on behalf of the entire team led by Atsukwamina Hazel, we're grateful for your time. I know that I said I was going to take some calls, but unfortunately I couldn't. But we will try and be better people tomorrow with the phone calls. Have a good morning. Expressive comes up next with Jackie and Bliskin. I'll be back at 11:30 for the midday news.
GHOne TV, your best experience.
Youth Leadership Parliament, in partnership with EIB Network Limited, GHOne TV, brings you Youth Leadership reality show dubbed Ghana's Youth President. Are you an aspiring leader? Do you have what it takes to become a great political leader? The opportunity is here to showcase yourself, battle your mind, and share ideas for national development.